In this tutorial, we will be discussing balancing half reactions in basic solutions. If a reaction occurs in a basic solution, one can balance it as if it occurred in an acidic solution. Once the equation is balanced, add OH to each side to neutralize the H plus in the equation to create water in its place. If this produces water on both sides, you might have to subtract water from each side. So, just like the acidic solutions, assign oxidation numbers to determine what is oxidized and what is reduced, and write the oxidation reduction as half reactions. Balance each half reaction. Balance the elements other than hydrogen and oxygen first. Then balance the oxygen by adding water. Now balance the hydrogens from the water by adding H+. This is the part that's different in basic. Add OH to each side to balance out the H+. Balance the charge by adding electrons. Then multiply the half reactions by integers so that the electrons gained and lost are the same. Add the half reaction, subtracting the things that appear on both sides. Make sure the equation is balanced according to mass, so in other words, the atoms are the same on the left and on the right. And make sure the equation is balanced according to charge. We're going to do one example of this. First thing we want to do is match up the ions, the charges. So we have I minus going to I2. First thing I'm going to do is balance out the atoms that are not hydrogen or oxygen. That leaves us with iodine. I'm going to put a 2 in front to balance out the iodines. Now let's take a look at the electrons. It's going from a -1 to a 0. It's losing an electron in this process. If we have -1 here, 0 plus 1, it's getting less negative. So it's losing an electron. So it's going to be on the right hand side. Because it's doing it twice, it's losing 2 electrons total. Now let's look at the manganese. We have MnO4 minus yielding MnO2. For the first one, we have Mn plus 4 of the -2 charges to equal an overall -1. That gives this manganese a +7 charge if we solve for Mn. The next one, plus 2 times -2, gives us an overall of 0. That didn't come up real well. 2 times -2. So that gives us a charge for manganese of a +4. Let's look at the things that are not oxygen or hydrogen. So that leaves us with manganese. Manganese are balanced, so I can move on. Oxygens. I have 4 on the left and I have 2 on the right. That means I need 2 more. So I'm going to add 2 waters on the right. I'm going to balance the hydrogens out by adding 4 H pluses on the left. I need to get rid of the H plus because that's if it was an acid solution. We're in a basic solution. So for every H plus, I need to add an OH minus. So that means I need 4 OH minus. But if I add it on the left, that means I also have to add it on the right. These come together to produce 4 waters. Now let's look at the electrons. It's going from a +7 to a +4. That means it's gaining 3 electrons in the process. So I'm going to put 3 electrons on the left hand side. If you're confused by the fact that it's gaining electrons, it's starting off at a +7 all the way to the right, and it's moving towards the negative side to get down to a +4. So it's going towards the negative side, so it's gaining electrons here. Now we have 4 waters on the left and we have 2 on the right. I can cancel the 2 on the right and leave us with 2 on the left. I can reduce it down. Alright, so now we have the half reactions. We need to balance the charges out. We have 3 on the bottom equation and we have 2 on the top. The number that's divisible by both 2 and 3 is 6. So I'm going to make them both 6. The top equation I'm going to multiply by 3. And on the bottom number, to get those 3 electrons equal to 6, I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 2. So that gives us, I'm going to draw a line here so that way we're not confused. 4 waters plus 6 electrons plus 2 MnO4 minus yields 2 MnO2 and 8 OH. I can cross off the electrons and see if there's anything else I need to cancel out. And there's not. So that means I can pull the equations together. So 4 waters plus 6I minus plus 2 MnO4 minus yields 3I2, 2 MnO2s, and 8 OH minus. And that's how you balance redox reactions via half reactions for basic solutions.